Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lina and I'm your Russian teacher. Everybody knows that not only the Russian grammar is difficult, but also pronunciation. Today I'm gonna give you 5 special pronunciation rules, and this lesson will be helpful for everyone. For beginners who just started learning Russian language and for advanced students. So let's see what I have for you. The first rule. After the letters zh, sh, c, we pronounce our I, ye, yo harder. So we replace them with their hard pair I, e, o. Like this we will have жить, желтый, жест. You see, жи, I'm not saying I, soft I, I'm saying I. Жить, желтый, о, and жест. Same will be for ш, шесть, шелк, шить. And the same for ц. Цирк, цифра, центр. It happens because our letters ж, ш, ц are always hard in the Russian language. In one of my videos about pronunciation tips, I told you that we can make our consonants harder and we can make them softer. These 3, they are always hard. It's impossible to make them softer. That's why we cannot pronounce them soft. It's always with the hard sound. Then, the opposite rule. After our letters ch, sh, we pronounce vowels a, o, u like ya, yo, you. So that would be the opposite. From hard sounds, we create soft sounds. You will have here чай, час, чаща, ощущать. You see, all these sounds, they are soft by the same logic, because ch and sh are always soft in the Russian language. We cannot make them sound harder. Then the rule number 3. I know that this one confuses a lot beginners and probably even advanced students. Sometimes instead of g, we say v. When it happens, you all know such words as его, сегодня. Here you always pronounce g like v. So I always give the rule that when you have g between two o, ого, or его, when you have these two letter combinations, you will pronounce g as v. But then you suddenly see the word погода. G stays between two o. But we pronounce it as g. So what is the rule here? The rule is that we pronounce g as v in the endings of adjectives, ordinal numbers, and personal pronouns in the genitive case, singular, of masculine and neutral. Pretty complicated, but the logic is kind of the same. So you all know what is ordinal numbers. Первый, второй. Then you all know what are adjectives. Большой, маленький, хороший. And also personal pronoun is его. From on, his. Его. So in these words, when you put them in the genitive case singular, they all will have ого or его at the end. And like this, all these endings you will pronounce with v sound. Первого, второго, большого, маленького, хорошего, его. You see? The rest, all this stuff like погода and other words where g is not in the ending of the word, you will pronounce as g. But you still can ask me, what's wrong with the word сегодня? It's not the ending, yes, it's not the adjective, it's not the number, it's just a word. Looks exactly the same as погода. But if we think about history, in Old Russian, we had 2 words. Сего дня. Всего, it was the adjective сей, this. Right now, in the modern Russian, this we say like этот, это. But in the old Russian, it was the word сей. Like this, всего, it's also the genitive form. That's why сегодня we just created one word instead of two words as it was before. And like this, we keep our pronunciation of this word as сегодня. Then the rule number 4. Sometimes ch sounds like sh. Also, you can hear many words like this. Что, конечно, скучно. But unfortunately, this rule is not that simple. Many people don't agree with it. Because, again, it's all about history. In the old Russian, it was common that ch was replaced by sh in colloquial speech. But in bookish or high society speech, it was always ch. So we kept this sound, we didn't change it, we didn't replace it with sh, and it was this bookish, beautiful language. Now, some people still believe that. Some people are using these forms, and we consider that it's not really official. It's more for colloquial Russian when we replace ch by sh. Also, you should know that it all depends on the region, on the person, how people speak and how people get used to pronounce these words. So, by this logic, you can pronounce the word скучно as скучно or as скучно. It won't be a mistake because you will hear how many people are saying скучно and how many people are saying скучно. I personally say скучно, but at the same time I say конечно. So I'm not saying конечно, I'm saying конечно. It all depends on the person and on the word. So for me, only these two words, что and конечно, will be pronounced with sh sound. But many people will say many other words. Скучно, яичница, конечно. All this stuff some people pronounce with the sound sh. And the last rule, probably the most complicated because it's not really a rule. There is no rule, but it sounds like this. Sometimes when you have a group of consonants of 3 and more consonants together, you know that it's completely normal and possible in Russian language. One of them we don't pronounce. Like everybody knows the word здравствуйте. I'm not saying здравствуйте. I skip this v because I have a group of consonants, many consonants together, and in order to make it easier for me, for other people, I don't pronounce one of them. So it happens in other words too, like чувство. Again, I'm skipping the letter v. Or честно. Here I'm skipping t. Also, I can say солнце. Here I'm skipping l. Сердце. I'm skipping d. So you see, it's kind of a rule. You have many consonants together, but every time it's a different consonant that I'm skipping. So there is no way to know which one you can skip. Only you have to memorize the pronunciation of these complicated words. If you think that it's impossible to pronounce all these consonants together, probably you're right, because we're not doing it. We don't pronounce these consonants all together. We skip one of them. And that's it. Congratulations! Now you know 5 the most important rules of the pronunciation in the Russian language. Now you can study them carefully, you can practice more, and in order to practice more, you need to listen more. You need to listen to Russian songs, to Russian videos, to watch Russian movies. Only like this, you will hear all this pronunciation, and for you it'll be easier to pronounce them correctly the next time you will have to say this word. On my Patreon page you can find all this stuff, because I post there songs, videos, grammar exercises for Russian every week, 3 times per week, so you will have enough practice for all this stuff. Thank you very much for watching, subscribe to my channel and learn Russian with me.